This is ELSY WAMEYO, and you're tuned in to AU Dollars.
Yo, what up, Cash fam? My name is Matthew Craig, and as always, you are tuned in to AU Dollars, Australia's Hip Hop Connect. Make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing to our channel and all that stuff. And jump into the comments. I want to hear who you want to see me interview next. Because as always, we've got the biggest and best guests from Australia and around the world. And my guest today is one of the most exciting names coming up in Australia today. She's a singer, songwriter, rapper, producer, music video director, you name it, and she can do it. She's done it all. She shared stages with the likes of Masego, Sampa the Great, and Adrian Eagle. She's played at festivals including Groove and the Moo and Laneway Festival. She was Young Kenyan of the Year in 2018 and winner of the People's Choice Award for Best Hip Hop at the annual South Australian Music Awards. She's been on all those one to watch, best of year lists, all that sort of blog attention that you all want. But most importantly, recently, she was the cover of AU Cash Radio on Spotify, the best playlist in Australia, right here at AU Dollars. She's just released the Nilotic EP on her own music label, Music in Exile. There's mixes of soul, there's R&B, there's hip hop, there's gospel. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff to her art, and I'm excited to learn her story today. Born in Kenya, currently based in South Australia, all the way from Adelaide. Welcome, ELSY WAMEYO, to AU Dollars, Australia's Hip Hop Connect. How are we doing today, family?
I'm so great. How are you?
Really well, really well. Better for this chat. Absolutely. It's my first one of the week, and I'm excited to get into this chat. Let's start with the EP. How does it feel? EP on your own label, all self-produced. What a moment for you. How does it feel right now?
It's exhilarating. I'm really excited. You know, I think it's a dream come true, honestly, because I've been working on this EP for so long. Like it has been in the process and in the planning process and the, brainstorming it. It's just been up in the air for so long. And so it's been amazing to just press play and listen to a song, you know what I'm saying? And just having something tangible, it's an honor. Honestly, I'm proud of ELSY. I'm very proud of ELSY because
as you should be.
It's been a long journey, but yeah, nothing but excitement, nothing but joy.
Cool. How long has this journey been? So it's been a couple of years, obviously, during the pandemic and all that. Have you spent a lot of that time working on this project? Or?
Yeah, I mean, Nilotic itself was about a year's work. A lot of spiritual groundwork prior in terms of the creating, probably about like 6 months, but it kind of just fully kind of came about in that year span for sure. Yeah.
Cool. I love how multidimensional the project is. I love that there's elements of gospel, sort of soul, but then you rap and you go in on some moments. What was the intention behind the diverse sonic soundscape?
The thing is, Nilotic wasn't really planned. As crazy as it sounds, I never really sat down and planned to do Nilotic. It was, again, I went first just through a journey of wanting to learn, I guess. I got a grant from Barclay, bless them. They granted me, and I bought a home studio, and it was during the pandemic where everyone was locked down. Amazing. So I was just at home in my room, and I had the first intentions just to record vocals and send off to my producer to continue this EP. But my room was not the best place to do that. So I started just mucking around. I started, pressing buttons. I didn't know how to produce. So a lot of it was finding samples and putting and chopping and doing all that crazy stuff. And through a couple of, trials, I landed with Nilotic. But the whole journey was so divine, and it was so well planned out by God, honestly. A lot of these tracks were happening. We've got one track that happened just super randomly at the studio with a bunch of friends of mine, where we were just sitting down and we just created it, but I think at the end of it, it definitely was, it almost showcases who I am, coming from Kenya, landing in Adelaide, Australia, being very, I've touched very, very many different environments. I grew up listening to Lil Wayne, listening to Nicki Minaj, you know what I'm saying? So like a lot of this was resting dormant in here. I just never explored that. I never journeyed within myself to figure out what can I do. So a lot of it, I think, I mean, the EP really just showcases, who I am, the journey that I've walked, and what I just love. And that's soul, that's gospel, that's rap. So
Cool. Cool. What's your creative process like? You said there was a lot of groundwork before the actual creation that went into this project. What does that look like? Does the inspiration come in certain moments? Is it going through experiences and then getting to the studio? What does it look like for ELSY?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. First, again, being a very spiritual person, it's a lot of prayers. It's a lot of get on your knees and pray and cry and do that, figure out, first of all, what it is that you're doing. Why do you want to write this song? You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be substance behind it for me. Otherwise, there's no reason to do it.
Yep.
And that can go for many months, and it happens throughout the process, but before Nilotic, Nilotic came about actually first, again, unknowingly, but after I understood what God was trying to do, I went into a little hiatus with God for about a month or so, where I did nothing but just prayed and submitted to that, and then after that came the full EP in about a month's time, wow. And yeah, so I always say to people, my spiritual, foundation has to be laid first before anything comes to pass, because I find that everything aligns so well and it happens so divinely where I physically don't have to do anything. I just experience, I let the world, the universe do its thing. And I happen to accidentally stumble into a studio with a friend and they happen to just play something and I just happen to have all these words, you know what I'm saying? And it's not to take away, obviously, from just the time that I've sat down, obviously, and written. There's definitely, moments where I've had to Nilotic chorus. I drove to a park because I was tired of, being locked down in my room.
Yep.
Drove to a park just down the road and I didn't even get out my car. I sat in my car and
you could have done that.
Super pointless, but I drove to the park, sat in my car, and I literally just stared outside at the trees and
wow.
double that. It just came out, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot of it I think is putting myself in that mental space of, do you know what, at the end of the day, God knows what he's doing. He has that purpose. He has that plan. You just have to go with it. You know what I'm saying? And then, the other side of creating, I love conversations. I love to chat. I love to learn about, everyone's a book. I look at everyone like a book, and everyone's gone through such amazing journeys, and why not ask? Why not talk? Why not, have that conversation and learn? So I love to chat, through the process of River Nile. I remember after producing, I went and drove to a friend of mine, their house, and it was just late night, and I played them the instrumental, and I was like, this is what I'm feeling. I know what it has to say, but I needed him to translate something for me because he had lived in Kenya a little bit longer than me, so he understood something a little bit more deeper. And so I went to him and we had a chat, and we spoke about the migration, the times where you're in the villages and there's a war breakout and your mum is carrying you on the shoulder, they're holding this, they're holding that, and it's that survival mode, But yeah, a lot of it's conversations. It's a lot of note taking on my phone. I have a notes page where if I'm chatting to someone, I'll just can you just hold that for a second? I'll quickly write something down. Yeah, so I do that a lot. And then I come back in the studio and I try to relive the feeling that I had when someone said something, or just what it made me feel at that time. So yeah, it's a bit of all of that.
That's cool. That's really cool. I like what you said about people being a book and conversations. And I feel very much Nilotic is like that as well. There's a lot of different themes running through your book or your story. There's elements of culture. There's elements of faith. There's elements of empowerment. What are the messages or the narratives, I guess, that you're wanting to communicate through this EP?
Oh, for this EP, that there's so much, first it's for my people, for us to really truly understand how great and powerful we are. The one thing that carried River Nile was, I guess, River Nile and Nilotic play a role together, where Nilotic was the tears where, we were going through the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yep.
Black people dying every day, it was just sad. And so Nilotic was a lot of tears. Nilotic was, I was weak, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I was so angry, because I was like, what do you mean you're killing our people? Like, give me back my gold. I know where I come from. I know that we are rich. Why are we the poorest in the world? Do you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't making sense. But after Nilotic happened, I got to River Nile and I got to that revelation where I was like, hold on a minute. You know what I'm saying? I was like, we do have everything. We own everything. But what made me even more I guess more like what made me feel more powerful was the fact that even after all the all the evil that had gone against, my people and my culture, we still come out on top. They're still trying to copy our styles. They're still trying to rap like us. They're still trying to us. And that made me feel so much greater because it's like they have tried for years to like bring us down, but we're still on top. You know what I'm saying? So, and I sat there and I was like, that power is so divine. It's so huge. And I think that's something that we don't know as Africans, especially expats that are not living in Africa, coming away and living in Australia, in Western countries. Your culture's being diluted every day. And so I really want some of these tracks to remind my people and myself who we are, where we've come from, and truly understand it's like that power is within us. Kill us all you want, but that spirit will forever live on. You know what I'm saying? But then you've got other tracks.
Amen. Can I get an amen from anyone? That was hard.
Right. And then you've just got, you've got other tracks where I'm speaking to myself and just empowering the females, where it's like, being a Black girl is a whole nother situation. People are bashing you for having braids, having beads, having dark skin, having big lips, having whatever it is, they're just bashing you. And so a track like Sulwe is that track where I was trying to empower myself, and I was putting myself back in the classrooms where I was teased and made fun of. And I really wanted to uplift that little Elsie and write a song that can uplift the little ones that are coming behind me, and even just the people, that are still going through that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this whole EP is nothing but empowerment, and most importantly, honestly, at the end of the day, I think it was something for my heart. I've seen so much, and at time I sometimes go, man, I don't think. When you cry and you're hurt so much, where you're like, I don't even think anyone is feeling this as much as I can. But I know that they do, because it's like, Nilotic, I'm here crying. I'm all the way in Adelaide, Australia. I'm here crying for the Breonna Taylors. And I'm just thinking, how is her mother feeling? Who am I to drop a tear? You know what I'm saying? And so that was kind of that journey where it was like a battle of, like my heart, when I tell you my heart weeps, but it's like putting yourself in that shoe of like, but then imagine their mother, imagine their sister, imagine their brother. So yeah, it's a lot of tears. It's a lot of sadness, but there's also so much power and so much strength in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely hear the themes of empowerment running through. And it felt like not only empowerment for others, but a bit of a statement of arrival for Elsie. Like I definitely feel on River Nile, it was like this is who I am. Like, this is what I'm rapping about. Take notice. The bar that obviously stuck in my head was that should have invested the first time on repeat. Like what's the story behind that? Let us in on that lyric.
Yo, on a personal level, it's this EP, it's been in the works for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And the amount of Aish, man, I don't know if you can do that. Aish, man, I don't know about this. Aish, you have to collaborate with someone on the writing for a song to hit. You have to, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, Aish, nah, dog.
Nah, bro.
I have so much faith in myself. I'm telling you, like, I don't think people understand. I've reached this point where like I just don't care, because I know I can do it all. And even in the times where it probably doesn't seem, that I can, I still tell myself that I can, because that's how it's going to happen. And so should have invested the first time was really that in your face moment where I was like, all those people that were like, you probably can't do that. That won't happen if you don't do this, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, check out River Nile now. I knew River Nile was going to be River Nile. Don't play me. You know what I'm saying? From the moment I wrote the first line, I knew exactly what River Nile was. I knew. And that's why I was like, should have invested the first time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's really just an in-your-face moment.
Yeah, I like it. I like the flex, the empowerment flex. I like that. How about you juggle a lot of different roles, singing, songwriting, running your own label, music videos, production, all that. How do you juggle those sort of different areas, and how do you balance them out, and when do you sort of lean on other people? How does that process look like for you?
Yeah, no, I will say Music in Exile actually isn't my label. It's a label in Melbourne run by a guy called Joe. He's the founder.
Shout out there.
Yeah, shouts to MIE, man. But yeah, it's one of those things where before MIE stepped in, it was a lot of, you know, and it still is anyway, juggling a lot of hats. You know, you're playing so many roles. Quite honestly, I don't know how I'm doing it. I thank the Lord for the strength, because the physical Elsie, like I say, is not capable. She's not. But you know, I think the thing that people don't see behind the scenes, again, it's the prayers, it's the tears at 3 a.m. It's, you know, there's so much, there's so much. But I thank God for the people that I'm surrounded with, because, you know, they're constantly speaking life into me. You know, they're constantly pushing me when I don't have that, you know, should have invested the first time. There are people that are there, they're like, hey, like, remember that song that you wrote? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they remind me of who I am. But yeah, I really take time to read the word. I take time to journey with God and remind myself of that power that I have spiritually, not in a physical sense, you know. But again, there's a lot of moments where it doesn't go smoothly. I think I present it to the world when it looks perfect, but I will say there are definitely moments where it's like, you know, this, I'm not writing enough, I'm not producing enough, I'm not managing myself, and, you know, you've got band rehearsals, you've got this, you've got that, but it's the grace of God. That's all I can say. It's the grace of God.
Yeah, well, yeah, it sounds definitely like a bit of a roller coaster. There's a lot of up and downs. What are some of the lessons you might have learned along this journey on this EP, or even a bit further into the industry?
Yeah, you know, I think, again, it's that I'm capable. That's the one thing that I'm forever running with, that I'm capable, that I you know, I don't need, you know, someone that's been in 10 years training of, I don't know, producing to be able to do it. Like, I can do that myself. I can, you know, and I think at the end of the day, it's like, even understanding that was enough, because even when I did partner with people to co-produce or to just working with people, I still had that foundation of, I understand that I don't need you. You know what I'm saying? We're doing this for the sake of, you know what, let's just create together. But if all goes left, I'll be fine, you know? But yeah, there was a lot of lessons. I think just finding true joy in who I truly am. I learned to enjoy myself, enjoy my art. You know, that's something that I really struggled with. You know, you write a song and you're like, Aish, like, why don't people resonate with it? Or why aren't people listening? Why isn't it hitting like this? But, you know, I got to that place where I was like, as long as my heart is content, it's happy with it, it loves it, that is enough. Everyone else is an extra. You know, if you love it, great. If you don't, still great. I'm fine. You know, it's come from here and it's healed me. If it heals you, cool. If it doesn't, it's whatever. You know, I think that was definitely a big lesson, just learning to love who I am.
Yeah, powerful. And on that note as well, you touched earlier on, obviously, your background, traveling over from Kenya. And what I love about the Australian music industry, particularly hip hop, R&B, all that sort of stuff right now, is that it's being run by diverse faces. We're seeing now an incredible band of artists from the diaspora, where they come from Africa, Asia, Pacific Islands, that are changing the guard of what it looks like here. What do you think is next? What's next for Elsie personally? I know this is something you're passionate about as well, but industry-wide, what do you think that change looks like, and what are the steps that still need to happen?
It's a big one. You know, interestingly enough, I don't think I'm at that place where I'm like, what's next? Because I feel like what we're currently at still isn't enough. I was talking to someone about it the other day, where it's like something like Black Panther, where you've got Ludwig, who's an amazing producer, you know, traveled to Africa and went and you know, listened, learned, took all these sounds, took it back to the US and did this amazing thing from Black Panther. And there was obviously so much beauty in the sense of like, wow, there's Africa incorporated into it. But for me, it rings, there's this white man that's just gone and taken all this stuff and taken it back to the US and just capitalized on it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there's still a lot of work to do currently in putting African faces at the forefront. In Oz, you know, we're definitely getting somewhere. I think it's, we still have to push. We still have to, just get, and it's not just Africans, you know, people from just all diverse backgrounds. Get us on the forefront. You know, I don't like the idea of, coming to almost collaborate and then capitalizing on it for yourself, or just filling a blank. You know, I was saying to someone, the idea of in Oz, you know, if you're doing a form or something, there's always that box of, are you an Aboriginal or Torres Strait? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want it to just be a box that's being ticked. I want it to be that forefront. So, yeah, I think at this point, I really couldn't say, you know, what's up next. I think we still need to push and work on where we're at now. And for me, I think, you know, it's up to me to also take part in that and make sure that I'm journeying and being at the forefront and trying to put myself at that, you know, at that place, and not, you know, for so long we've always been told to sit at the back, you know, say, you know, don't say anything. But I think for me, I feel like I'm obligated to run, to be at the front and push for my people. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And more personally, what does it look like music-wise, creative-wise for ELSY Next Steps? So obviously we've got this incredible project. Is there live shows? What can we look forward to? More videos?
Oh, man. I mean, in terms of live shows, we've got some good stuff coming up. You know, we're at Red Bull. We're in Melbourne this weekend, actually.
Let's go.
Yeah, so Red Bull Unlocked. And then we've got Strawberry Field. And then we're playing Vivid, which is so intensely... Right, so huge. But I think in terms of the creating process, I'm still at that place where I'm like, I'm just gonna paint Australia in brown, in color. Like,
I'm there for
it. As much as I can, you know, you're gonna continue hearing those Maasai samples, and you know, I want to tap into a lot of other countries and hear their cultural sounds, because Africa is so big and so diverse, and this EP, you know, you only really hear the sounds of East Africa, or if anything, Kenya. So I'm really keen to jump into, you know, South Africa and Nigeria and hear what they're rocking with, and incorporate that into my music, and then, you know, come in Australia and just spew it all over the place.
I love it. All about it. All right, so let's slide in some rapid fire. Let's have a little bit of fun now, yeah? I'm going to shoot some quick questions at you, and you just hit me with the first answer that pops in your head, yeah?
Ooh, this might be bad, but let's do it.
Okay, we go. All right, rapid fire with ELSY WAMEYO right now. If you could collaborate with any artist in the world, dead or alive, who would it be?
Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, no, you straight up, no questions asked.
Yeah, yes. Oh my gosh, Kendrick. Yes, just point blank.
Love it. If the world is ending tomorrow, what's the last meal you're having for dinner tonight?
Whoa, chapati and dengu, we call it in Swahili. It's green grams. It's a very famous Kenyan dish. So yeah, chapati and dengu.
I'm gonna have to try that. That sounds incredible.
You do. It's amazing.
What's the background on the wallpaper on your phone?
Whoa, it is. Oh, I'm on vocal rest. My phone is off. It says I'm on vocal rest. Before WOMAD, my voice was doing a thing, and I wanted to go and see my friend performing. But I just didn't want to like talk to people, and I had to limit that. So I just put on my background, I'm on vocal rest, so that people, if someone comes to me, I can just be like,
I like that. That's cool. That's probably the best answer I've ever had to this question. That's really cool. I'm glad I asked.
I'm on vocal rest.
What's a movie recommendation that everyone should check out?
Whoa, Harriet Tubman. I believe that's what it's called, Harriet Tubman.
Incredible. If you could hang out with a cartoon character for a day, who would it be and why?
Can I choose 3? Ed, and Eddie, because they're
there we go.
Yes. They're so funky. Ed, and Eddie, 100%.
Yeah, I can see that. I reckon there's a series in there, ELSY, Ed, and Eddie, with the E's. There's something going on there. You can see a collab. What was your least favorite subject in school?
Oof, maths.
Maths, not a fan.
Yeah, I would say maths. Yeah. I'm good at it, but I hated there has to be a specific answer.
Yep.
And then you don't know the answer, just the struggle of, have you felt your nerves just like burst? Mm-hmm. Maths made my nerves
Back to school.
Maths is too much. It was too much anxiety.
No. If you could go anywhere in the world on a holiday, where are you going?
Mombasa.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
cool.
Coast. Yeah, Kenya. Oh, yes, Mombasa.
And back.
Sure.
Beautiful.
Yeah, sure.
If when ELSY gets a big bag, where's the first place she's going to spend money?
My mother, her pockets. I will throw so much money at her face. Yes.
I like it. If we were switching seats and you were interviewing, who in the world would be the first person you would interview?
Kendrick Lamar again.
Again, there we go. What is it about Kendrick?
Oh my gosh. Whew. When I tell you, Kendrick carried Nilotic subconsciously. He didn't even know. Yeah. So when I started the journey of Nilotic, I spent time with Kendrick and Ludwig. Found that Ludwig was the he did the soundtrack, and Kendrick did the album for Black Panther. And after Nilotic, the sound that it mimicked Black Panther, and so I watched Black Panther a couple of times, listened to every Kendrick interview, every Kendrick song,
Let's go.
Yeah. I think that's just the season that I'm at right now. So Kendrick.
I love it. Hater all the way. And the last question we always ask in rapid fire, a little bit controversial. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah? You rocking with the pineapple on pizza?
Yes, 100%.
All right, there you have it here first. ELSY WAMEYO loves the pineapple on the pizza almost as much as she loves Kendrick Lamar. ELSY, thank you so much for your time today. Congratulations on Nilotic. Congratulations on what you're doing in a creative and a cultural sense. I'm excited by it. I'm excited to hear more music and to catch you live. And I know Australia is supporting, and AUD will be riding with you all the way.
I thank you so much. Thank you so much, love. Thank you.
Big love. All right. We'll link up when you're in Melbourne.
Yes. I'll see you there.
Thanks so much.
Like the river now, never running out. Making it with or without. Living it clear like a diamond ring. Royalty never less than. No, you cannot relate. No, it is not your place. Natanini las manyongena luga ingine wani.